Fresno mayoral candidate Andrew Jan's not waiting until Super Tuesday to cast his vote. It says, I'll go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say he voted for himself for mayor, right? Well, Jans and Dyer have been the front runners ever since they both announced they were running to replace Mayor Lee Brand, who decided not to run for a second term. Voting centers around the valley already open for Super Tuesday. So let's bring in our panel as we are less now than, 48 hours from Super Tuesday. Let's take roll call. KC24 political analyst Jim Veros is here. KMJ host of the Afternoon Drive, Philip Teresi, and Fresno City Council President Miguel Arias. Gentlemen, welcome. I know you have all voted already, right?
Oh, yeah.
Wink,
sure.
wink. All right.
I sure did.
Twice. What's that?
Twice.
Twice. Okay, well, Brandy has to talk to you. Let's start with the mayor's race. Miguel, obviously, you've been very critical of Jerry Dyer, even donating 20 grand to a PAC against Dyer. Mayor Brand has said on this very show, Andrew Jans is not qualified to be the mayor at this time. After the debates, the forums, all the talk, even our little conversation that we had with both the candidates last week, who's best fit to be Fresno's next mayor?
Well, first I would point out that Andrew Jans is as qualified as Ashley Sorensen was when she became mayor, and she was a great mayor for the city of Fresno. From my perspective, I plan to stay out of this race until Jerry Dyer decided to refuse to show up to public forums, take questions from residents in South Fresno, and then decided to, in a very arrogant way, impose a solution of housing thousands of homeless folks in South Fresno without bothering to talk to South Fresno residents. So that's what not only earned him my lack of a vote, but earned him my opposition.
Well, let me ask you this. Did you donate $1 to Andrew Jans' campaign?
No.
Why wouldn't you? Why would you just donate $20,000 from your campaign fund to a PAC instead of backing Andrew Jans? Are you not endorsing him?
This is about the fact that any mayor who wants to have a slogan of One Fresno should have the ability and the willingness to meet in South Fresno, talk to South Fresno residents, and hear from them. When you choose not to, and yet you want to impose solutions in their neighborhoods that you wouldn't do in your own neighborhood, is a slap in the face to residents of South Fresno.
Well, we don't know if he didn't knock on doors or did knock on doors in South Fresno. Were you walking with him?
Well, what we do know is that he hasn't showed up to one public debate.
I don't know. I'm just asking.
Fresno.
I'm just asking.
Not
Philip,
one
I
public
want to come
debate.
to you. From what we've seen, what we've heard, who's best fit to be mayor?
Jerry Dyer. Look, Andrew Jans is a very capable prosecutor. He does not have the administrative experience. He does not have the lay of the land as well as Jerry Dyer does, with 40 years of experience in the city, 20 years being the chief of police. Chief Dyer understands the job that he's running for, and he's going to do an excellent job. And I think part of it goes to what you said about the navigation center that he's talking about putting in near Pavarella House, near the Fresno Rescue Mission. Inevitably, he's going to have to make decisions. He's going to have to take positions that aren't popular. He's willing to do that. He's willing to make a statement and take a stand while he's campaigning. And none of the other candidates are doing that.
Yeah, let me ask you, Jim, I know you're supposed to be the analyst here and go down the middle, but the same question to you, and then second, do you think we'll find out on March 3rd?
Well, I think when it comes down, your second part of your question, I think it really comes down to turnout. If it's a high Democratic turnout because it is a Democratic presidential primary, we may be looking at a November runoff. If North Fresno definitely turns out for Jerry Dyer and Democrats, are thinking that that their vote isn't really going to be counted, then maybe Jerry wins it outright, 53–54%.
All right. So answer the first question.
You know what? I think when it like I said, as an analyst, having to take that hat off, I'll say this: I think there's definitely a difference between being in law enforcement and being in politics. I think when you're in law enforcement and you're a chief, you say something and they do it because you're in charge. As a mayor, we've seen this with other mayors. They have a plan and then they run into a city council that is not favorable. So just because that he was, if you liked him or not as a police chief, I'm not sure that translates.
All right, I want to move. You're going to say.
I was just going to say, a year ago, people were expecting Jerry Dyer to win on the landslide. Today, they can't even commit to 55% of the vote. Every month, Jerry Dyer has been losing support, not gaining support.
So you're saying it's going to be a runoff?
I believe it's going to be a runoff, right. And if there is, Jerry loses in November.
Wow. All right. So I want to get to this. District 4 City Council seat up for grabs. Tyler Maxwell, Nathan Alonzo. We profiled both of them. This has actually been a nasty race on social media if, like us, we follow this kind of stuff. This is a critical seat here. Jim, how do you see this following out? Because, you know, obviously Dyer is back, Nathan Alonso, so this is an important seat if he becomes mayor.
Very much so, and I think that there was a lot of other races that people were kind of keeping an eye on, and little by little, those races haven't been that quote-unquote sexy. It hasn't been that much mudslinging, a little bit here and there. But it finally got down to D4, and the mudslinging was
outrageous,
fierce.
Yeah.
But when you take a look at polling data from about 5-6 weeks ago, 2/3 of this district didn't know who either of these candidates were with 6 weeks left in the race. So both have had to define not only who they are, but who the other candidate is not. So it's going to be very, very close.
Miguel, obviously you'll be working with one of these two candidates if they win the seat.
They're both good candidates. I think the question for voters in District 4 is, are they going to go with the candidate who has the support of the establishment Republican Party of Fresno and the corporate interests, or folks who are going to advocate for the working class?
There's party politics on the dais?
There is party politics, absolutely. And District 4 has more than 20% more Democrats than they do Republicans in that area. So the question will be, will 2018 repeat itself? And the corporate interests of the Chamber of Commerce and the Apartment Association lose in 2020, or will they win?
Wow. All right, there's some mudslinging. Philip.
Or facts.
Yeah.
Look, Jim made the point. 6 weeks ago, if you walked into that district and dropped these two names, the response would be who? Since then, the distinction has really come down to which party's backing which candidate. And I think that in this district, it's going to be a tight fight. I personally like Alonso because I think that he functions as a check on the council as it is, but I couldn't call this race.
I'll say this, though. Once again, if the fans of Jerry Dyer, if Jerry wins, but Tyler wins, Jerry will be very, very he won't be effective because the guy down here will be able to control things.
Yeah, Jerry Dyer will be irrelevant, to be fair.
It'll be interesting for sure. All right, we're going to get to District 16 and District 22, those races a little bit later in panel number 2.